Hi, this is David again. This is going to be part 2 for women only. I don't know what my camera did. You know, the day-nights or the Holy Ghost or Jesus got my camera, so I've got to make this in 2 videos. Let me try to pick up where I was. The way you are treated, some of it is your own fault. When you try to cover bad behavior of other people, anyone that lays a hand on you that you don't want a hand laid on you, you shouldn't put up with, ever. Ever. And you're going to find returned missionaries coming home and smiling and wearing the garments and being happy, 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 and then you marry them and then you find out you're being slapped, you're being punched, you know, you're locked out of the house, your car keys are thrown up on the roof. You get all kinds of crazy stuff with crazy people. Take your time. Know who you're marrying. Spend some quality hours talking. Look at his family. The way he treats his mother is a very good indication of how he's going to treat you and respect you. Now certainly you have the advantage between 20 and 40, 45 of having anybody that you want because of the way life is. That men are interested in your body and they're willing to put up with a lot of crap from your personality because of your body. Now, if you've married somebody like that, you've made a mistake that you're going to end up paying for. Because once you're 45 and now you're 70, 80 pounds overweight and your body looks like hell because you've had 5 kids or 8 kids, basically at that particular point you can't go back. He can. He can. There's a lot, and I'm not exaggerating, there's a lot of women that want and will marry older men. My wife is 23 years younger than I am. Why? Why are women so interested in marrying older men, but older men don't want to marry 45, 50-year-old women? Well, it's very simple. When I did my master's degree at Northeastern State in Tahlequah, Oklahoma, my specialty was human attraction. Why do men like women and why do women like men? Cutting the entire sexuality portion of that equation away. What is it mentally? What is it inside their heads that causes them to polarize towards certain people? Well, men was pretty easy. Men were pretty easy. That basically their job was to repopulate the world as quickly and as much as they can. They're very interested in looking at their posterity and going, oh, number 1, number 12, number 15, number 20, and that's FLDS, basically doctrine is, oh gee, I've got 8 wives and I've got 57 children, and that makes men feel satisfied and wanting to be married. Now, let's turn it around inside and look at the female. The female is very, very different. Why do you see sometimes really ugly men, fat, bald, and stupid, with a cheerleader? This doesn't fit. I thought the cheerleaders always marry the quarterbacks. Not true. Not true. Physical beauty for women, it's not as high a priority as it is for men. Men want girls that are what we call trophy wives, that you have your hair done all the time and you're wearing tight little clothes and a short skirt and you're happy, 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 and you're in charge of the Relief Society parties and you're popular. That's what men want. It's not what women want. What my research showed is women want security. You marry an older man, he's been on the job 20, 25 years. He's not going to be unemployed, generally. He's also got a little bit of savings, a 401k. His house is halfway paid for. If he likes you, he'll probably let you have your own car. And he's not going to be as demanding as a 21-year-old husband. You know, he's going to be he's more experienced. He's going to be much more willing to slow down and to be courteous and to maybe even open doors, which I shouldn't even say that because my wife is always on me that I forget to open the door, and I'm just a man. We do that. So, in the Mormon church, they know, and especially in a cult, they know what you want and what you need. Gordon Hinckley, the Hinkster, just before he died, and maybe it's what killed him, you know, a bunch of women beating on him, I don't know. But he says, young women of the church, I'm paraphrasing, don't marry someone that you love. Marry someone that can take you to the celestial kingdom. Well, this is the best thing ugly and fat guys ever heard, because they stand up and go, you know, I'll take you to the celestial kingdom. You don't need to have me buff. You don't need to have me, you know, take a bath every month. You don't need any of that. You just need an honorable priesthood holder, and she's brainwashed. She's going to say, well, you know, I could get a better husband, better looking, maybe a little more talent and college educated, but this bozo is going to take me to the celestial kingdom. And Bozo the Hinkster said, this is what I should do, obey, obey, obey. I'm going to go ahead and marry this guy. And boy, I'll tell you, you know, I'm not going to put any names out, but all of my daughters are extremely beautiful. Their moms have been, you know, model type females, and my daughters are absolutely beautiful. And the ones that have common sense have done well. They've married good husbands. I'm telling you, some of my grandchildren look like a brick with arms and legs. They are so ugly. Because most of the ones that are active in the Mormon church will marry anyone breathing. And I just didn't want to have that experience, and I just wanted to say something to you that you don't have to do that. If you're a nice looking girl and you've prepared yourself and you play athletics and you have a good education, for God's sakes, don't marry a bozo. Don't marry a guy with, you know, and I'm just being funny here now, no legs and no arms. You can do a little bit better. Be careful being raised in the Mormon church. They will take advantage. Your father, your bishop, your young women's president, and your state president, and the general authorities of the church are going to see you as the elite baby machine. You are the tithing builder. You're the one that's going to bring in more people to pay tithing in the next 20 years, and you're an investment. You're an investment. So, I always do this. Watch my lips. They will say to you, you're the most important thing in the church. You are next to God, and we honor and we worship you because you're so special. You get to carry God's children in your body, and that makes us very happy. Bullshit. Bullshit. What they do is different than what they say. Okay? What they do is you are barefoot and pregnant in the damn kitchen. Sorry, that's the old way that we used to say it, and that's the only way I know how to say it. You don't have your freedom. You don't have your independence. And the quicker he can get you pregnant, suddenly, for 9 months, you feel like crap. You can't go anywhere. You feel stupid. You think you look stupid. Some of us like pregnant women. I think they're attractive, but most guys, I guess, don't. And suddenly your sex life has gone to hell. And suddenly, you know, you still have the other kids, if this is a second or third one, to get lunch for and to send off to school and do homework. You are so busy, you don't have a life. You are a damn zombie. You're a raging idiot. That's why you're addicted to drugs. That's why you're so fat. That's why you have such low self-esteem. I'm telling you, I've lived it, I've seen it with my own eyes, and I have heard it with my own ears. My girls were very, very, and they are, independent. They're willing to say no, and they're willing to take certain jobs, and some want to be a cardiologist, some want to be an airline pilot, they may want to be an attorney. I've got one that wants to write for Hollywood. They're very, very independent girls, and I see them as equal to my sons. And my dad said, and you know, I have followed that instruction. He says, you don't hit a woman, period. That's the end of the story right there. You don't hit girls, because it's not so much, and it does hurt them and it can injure them, but it also crushes their self-esteem. Someone who is bigger and stronger, who is supposed to be protecting them, is violating them and making them feel like dog shit. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that. The first time You get a husband that slaps you around, you call social services, you call the police 911, and he needs to be in an anger management class. He needs to have some counseling. He may need some medications. And he's probably a returned missionary. They are very inclined to hold that anger of a mission in. They're isolated from their families, they're isolated from their girlfriends, they're isolated from the world, and when they come back, there is a likelihood they're going to take that out on somebody. It's going to be, drug addiction, alcoholism, sexual intimidation. It can be physical beatings. Don't do that. The first time someone lays a hand on you that way, and my girls know that. And I respect that, and I hope every other boy that interacts with them respects that. You don't hit girls, period. And they don't generally hit men. You know, sometimes I think we have a little bit of leeway in our society. She'll slap you. I guess I'm just of the age and stage where I go, hey, you know, that isn't going to hurt, and it's not going to knock you down. Now, obviously, she takes the phone or a pan and hits you over the head. You need to call 911 too. You know, this violence, domestic violence, is a lot bigger in the Mormon church than the church and the members want to admit. So let me come to some kind of conclusion and summary that being a woman, you have a great responsibility to see that your life is good. Just because you have a vagina and it gives babies to men, that is no reason to give up your education, give up your dignity, give up your self-esteem, give up your education. There's no punishment for having a vagina. That's just men. They just think you should be punished. And when they're good looking and they're buff and they got their arm around you in high school or college and, oh, I love you, and you think, because your little heart pitter-patters, that he's going to be that way forever. Well, suddenly you don't have an education, you got 3 or 4 little kids running around, you're crazy, you're screaming all the time, you're fat, you're not as attractive as you used to be, and he made you that way. And then he has the balls to go, hey, you know what, I see a younger girl there. I'm 48, 52 years old. I'm going to marry me a 12-year-old. Or a 20, well, it could be Joseph Smith. I don't know. He could marry a 12-year-old, but you're getting the point that I'm saying. And how is that going to make you feel? After all the sacrifice you've made, helping him through school, cleaning the house, buying a couple of different houses, taking the kids to the hospital, sitting up all night, breastfeeding the kids, sitting up all night when they're sick, sitting up all night getting breakfast and dinner and lunch, and you may be working down at McDonald's. He can't support all of those kids. Is that your fault? No. Is that the deal you bartered for? When you start to date and you find somebody, you're going to say to them, hey, you know, are you going to make enough money that we can live on with these kids? Or am I going to have to work part-time at Walmart or McDonald's? And if he says, well, it's not a bad job, man, get your thinking cap on. You know, the Mormons have no thinking cap, and that's why there is so much drug addiction and obesity and sadness. And what does the man get punished? He has 5 kids, 8 kids, 14 kids. He's cool. He's, you know, got his suit on and he looks successful. And then he drags your ass into sacrament meeting and you look like you've been dragged behind a Mack truck for 100 miles. It's not right. It's not right. Now, please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I'm not saying to be hostile. I'm not saying to be mean. I'm not saying to be obnoxious. You'll never get married if you do those things. Both the man and the woman have to have a certain amount of kindness and a certain amount of flexibility. But you need to look down the road and past your little heart and look, what will you be at 30? What will you be at 40? And is he going to help you get a job? Is he going to let you buy a new car for yourself? Not for him, but for yourself, and let you drive it. And will he let you have the house in your own name if it's your money or your parents gave you money to inherit? Or is he going to insist, oh, this is community property, which it's not. Which it's not. So look down the road, be wise, get a damn education. Whatever you get, if you're 42 years old and you end up in a divorce, you're going to need an education because your vagina is not going to help you at all. No one is generally interested in marrying those older girls when they can get a 20-year-old or a 22 that just think they walk on water and just worship them. What man's not going to want that? Be wise. Be a good woman. And be confident and be faithful. And know that you should be taken care of and that you should be respected. And that you have your freedom. If you're 23 and you want to go back to school, he needs to babysit the 2 kids so that you can take morning or evening classes. It's the way it is. It's the way but it's not in Mormonism. It's not in Mormonism. He'll tell you, because the Mormon church, your job is to stay at home and be an at-home mother. Well, there you are. You sit on your fat ass and watch your TV and eat bonbons, and you get worse and worse. You don't have any interaction, and if he wants to go out on the week, or you want to go on the weekend, he doesn't want to take you because you're too fat, you're too ugly, and you have to pay $200 for 9 kids to be babysat. Think. Think. You're responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your body, and you're responsible for your future. Don't turn it over to a man. Certainly you can share your life with a man, certainly you can love, and certainly you can have powerful sexual feelings and emotions in the marriage, and you can sacrifice. He may get sick and you may have to nurse him, vice versa. You may have to work a little bit because he's disabled for a year or some crazy thing that goes on. I mean, life, the bumper sticker says it correctly, shit happens. But don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage your own life. Don't have a miserable life because you had a burning bosom and I just felt it was the right thing. Ask all the 45, 50-year-old women that are divorced. Where did that feeling go? You knew the Holy Ghost, and you knew Jesus was sitting right beside you and said, you know, marry the guy with the tattoos up and down his arms and the rings in his ears and in his nose, never had a job in his life, and he has a 7th grade education. But your little heart and your little feelings go, hey, this is a good man. This is a good man. If you do that, you deserve it. You deserve a poor life. You deserve to be miserable. What comes around goes around. You made bad decisions, there's punishments. We make our own rewards and we make our own punishments. You put the standard and the bar where you want it, and then you watch which men come up to that bar and standard. Don't lower your standard that he's too ugly, he's too stupid, or he doesn't have a job, or he just slaps you around only on the weekends, or he only drinks 3 times a week, and he's dead ass drunk, and he's on the couch and you can't get him off, and the kids are scared to death with his drinking and driving in the car. Be wise. Think about it. Be wise. And run your own lives. Enjoy being a woman. Enjoy marriage. Enjoy relationships and all the fun that you can have between 20 and 45. The world is yours. But after 45, you're still going to live another 30 or 40 years. Think about that. How are you going to live? Are you going to be the greeter at the door of Walmart? Is that what you think you're going to be? Well, then be it. I don't care. And you know what else? No one else cares. If you don't care, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So this video for girls only, it's got part 1, got part 2 because my camera went crazy. And I'll get it up, and if there's questions or comments or whatever, you're very welcome to hit my website there with the YouTube and ask them. And right now I'm getting several responses, but I'm still able to keep up with making comments. It's growing a little bit, but anyway, as you think about it, please review my words, and you may even want to sit down with the boy that you're thinking of and say, look at this guy. He's 64 years old. He knows what the hell he's talking about. I'm not a baby machine, and I'm not going to put you through college, and I'm going to be equal. If you can do that, hey, let's date. Let's go to a dance. Let's have some fun. But if I start to be rebellious in the marriage because you're taking advantage of me, don't be surprised. I'll kick your ass. I may divorce your ass while I'm still good looking. If you're going to be a jerk and you're not going to work, and you're using all your money coming home and buying guns and a plane, and we're here in our old clothes and our house is filthy and you don't fix anything, I'll divorce your ass. It's equal. Be equal, ladies, and I think you'll be happy. Thank you very much.